Good evening, everyone. Well, this has been a long time coming, and so I'm finally going to try and capture another little cooking video for you ASMR fans. As you can see here, I've laid out some items that I'm planning on putting together here. So you see here the pasta that I'm about to cook. It's the fusilli, which is, I guess a lot of people just call them spring pasta, springs, whatever. And then next to it you have Puttanesca sauce. At least I think that's how it's pronounced, but essentially it's a sauce with Kalamata olives, portobello mushrooms, artichoke hearts, and capers. It's a really nice tasting sauce. Really, it's the best sauce that I think I've ever tasted out of a jar, at least. And you see here, these are both from Wegman's, the grocery store brand. Yeah, normally I wouldn't jump all over, a store brand necessarily, but in this case, like I said, I've tried a lot of different, Italian sauces in jars from the different brands, and I just happened to try this one, and I couldn't believe it. It was just amazing. So, yeah, if you get a chance, definitely try it. So, here we also have good old Kraft Parmesan cheese. Most pasta and sauce, I would definitely put some of this on, of course, but believe it or not, this sauce that I'm about to have tastes great without anything added, so I include this here, of course, for the just for the sounds, but I'm not planning on actually putting any of that in there. So, got a big bottle of organic extra virgin olive oil. Might just splash a little of that into the water while I'm boiling the pasta. So let's go ahead and get started. Got a nice big pot, and it's the kind that you get the nice drainage on the top, and it actually does lock, so you can lock it shut and then drain the water off. Very convenient. This takes 4 quarts of water. There's one. There's 2. Three. Yeah, I don't think we need it. I think we need all four, so we're going to go ahead and skip that last part. Alright. Let's see if we can... Alright, great. So yeah, got here the organic whole wheat fusilli. And just in case you care, there's the nutrition information. Let's see if I can get it focused a little better. There we go. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I don't know how it compares to other pastas. I think if you compare this to the same pasta that's just the normal rather than the whole wheat, it's got a bit more potassium, not quite as much sugar, a lot more fiber, but otherwise it's about the same. So, yeah. But, yeah, I like fusilli pasta the most. It just has a really interesting texture. So, and over here, I've got a little gathering of some wine bottles that I've had sitting around, and I was amazed to find that two of them are actually older than I would normally keep a bottle around. I've got a 2009 Cabernet Sauvignon, which is from Washington State. I don't know exactly where. But, and then I also have a Bourgogne Pinot Noir from 2009 as well. You can also see the Georges de Boeuf, the Beaujolais Nouveau from 2011, and I also have a bottle back there from 2012. And I don't know, I haven't noticed in the grocery store lately, but I imagine that it's, you know, approaching Thanksgiving time, so the 2013 Beaujolais Nouveau should be coming out shortly, I would imagine. So let's go ahead and move some of these items away from the stove. This is actually a brand new bottle, but I already have a bottle that I had opened. So, yeah. That sauce is pretty amazing. The only thing that's always a concern when you get sauce in a jar is it usually has a lot of salt in it. So maybe one of the things about it that's better done from scratch, but it's nice of them to mark the volume on the side of the jar, so it's easy to measure. So yeah, but I love food with artichoke hearts. Obviously, I'm big on mushrooms as well, and olives. So putting all three of those in one sauce is definitely the way to my heart for sure. And I don't know, I think ever since I've been of age to drink legally so that I could, you know, start developing a palate for wine, I certainly noticed that of all the types of food out there, types of, I guess, alcohol, adult beverages, you could say, that you could enjoy with food, it seems like a nice glass of red wine with an Italian dinner. Yeah, that definitely puts a very satisfying feeling in your belly, as long as you don't overdo it, of course. But yeah, a single glass of wine with dinner, yeah, that leaves you feeling very, very content. So. While I'm waiting for the water to boil here, I thought I'd show you something else that I sometimes like to enjoy. I'm sure a lot of people do with Italian food, and that's good cheese. I don't actually have a lot of really good Italian cheeses that I'm, you know, familiar with, so I'm sure somebody who's more of a real cook could probably give you some good suggestions. These are just some things that I sometimes enjoy while I'm having pasta and sauce. One of them is a few slices of extra sharp cheddar. This brand, Adams Reserve, comes pre-sliced, and it also, we noticed, has a pretty decent nutritional balance for cheese. It's not too high in fat, but it's got a pretty heavy, powerful amount of protein. So we always like that. So cracker cuts, and I know probably some people would have some strong opinions about cottage cheese, but ever since I was a kid, my mom was always cooking, and she's a really good cook, and it's pretty amazing some of the different kinds of cuisine that she can put together, and just all different styles. But we had a lot of concern for being more healthy because heart disease and that sort of thing runs in one side of my family. So my mom started really changing up the recipes, and very often substituting ground turkey or something and for ground beef, and then for certain kinds of cheeses that were a little more, not as healthy as we would like, she would sometimes substitute cottage cheese, so in lasagna and that sort of thing. And, I still thought she made a mean lasagna, really, really tasty. But yeah, I've always enjoyed cottage cheese on its own as well. But it's not too fun when it's really fatty, and I found this brand that, as you can maybe read, 15 grams of protein per serving, and only 5 of fat. And believe me, this does not taste low fat by any means. It basically tastes like your basic 4% cottage cheese. And yeah, really, really good stuff. So definitely recommend that. California style is what they call it. So yeah, really good stuff. This doesn't burn my hand when I pick it up. thing I'm definitely not going to add to the water is any salt, since the sauce is going to have more than enough. I think anything that has olives in it is already going to have quite enough, quite an abundance of flavor. So, but yeah. This is definitely making me hungry. Another interesting thing about cooking fusilli pasta is it always seems to require more time in the boiling water than the directions say. I still start testing whether it's al dente a minute or two before it says it's supposed to be done, but yeah, I've never once cooked fusilli and actually had it done at the time that the box says it will take. It's usually a few minutes after that, and even then it's still going to be just a little bit chewy. But in this case that's okay, because I'm going to be doing the sauce in a pan along with the pasta, just to warm it up. And that should allow it to maybe cook just a little bit more as well. Alright, so we're officially back to a boil. It says 9 to 11 minutes. So, alright, now drained all the water, and what we're going to do now is take some of this pasta and put it in a nice pan so that I can get some sauce going on the pasta. So go ahead and nice helping there. What do you think? Looks like a good plate pasta. Sounds like I've inspired one of my kitties to have a bite to eat as well. So, I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Okay. Big chunks of mushrooms and artichoke hearts, good stuff. Okay, let's get some heat in here. Just might not be enough. Let's see. I don't always need to drench my pasta in sauce. Just enough. I actually sometimes eat pasta by itself just because it tastes good. But there's lots of ways to make pasta more interesting. You can eat it cold. Maybe just throw some olive oil in it and maybe some lemon juice or some red wine vinegar, something like that. Make a little pasta salad. Try to get the sauce nice and evenly distributed when I'm doing it like this in a pan. Now we're starting to get some heat going. I did eat a few slices of that extra sharp cheddar, but man, you could probably still hear my stomach growling at this point. It knows it's getting awfully close to dinner time. Alright. Definitely sounds like we're getting to the right temperature here, so go ahead and turn off the burner. Let's see if I can get the camera moved over without too much noise in it. Alright, there we go. Oops. There. Should be about right. And you might see in the background that the wine has now become a Mexican Coke. What that means is it's been bottled in Mexico. Of course, some of you may already be familiar with that, but essentially if you want Coca-Cola without corn syrup in it, you want real sugar, then a lot of stores have started carrying it. Comes in the nice bottles too. Of course, it also costs a lot more than buying it in a can. But here we are. Some of it just doesn't want to come out of the tin. Alrighty. Well, there you go. Nice plate of pasta. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said earlier, it's been a long time, and I've heard a lot of requests for more ASMR cooking videos, so I finally got inspired enough to throw this one together, so I hope you enjoyed it. And if everyone enjoys this one, I'll try to think of something else that I can cook that you might like to watch. So anyway, thanks again. I really appreciate all of the support and all the people's very sweet comments, and I try to, reply to everyone, but even if I don't, just know that I appreciate every kind word that you guys leave me. So thanks again, and have a great night. Bye-bye.